to the west side was a good move on our part. As far as doing it today, the number of retirements that we're projecting by January 1st, our staffing should equal our authorized manpower levels. So we wouldn't have the staffing to do the ladder truck, or we could start it tomorrow, November 1st when we leave Station 29, but we'd have to decrease service January 1st because we won't have the manpower to do it. Now, as far as the overtime goes, the overtime for staffing a ladder company for 6 months would probably be in the neighborhood of about $1 million. And I simply don't have that type of reserve in my budget to staff that truck on overtime.
So it goes back to then it could be done, though, in June. Did we say June? Of July of 2012.
Let me ask the question this way. If council provides you the funding, will you commit to doing it on July 1?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Councilor Sanchez, you have a... I thought you were going to say something. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, Councilor Gardenia.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. Chief, in looking at the resources that are good, that have been or will be reallocated from 29, where are those going to go?
Mr. President, Councilor Gardenia, Rescue 29 will become Rescue 19 on November 1st. We've agreed to stay at that. The Engine 29 will remain in service until November 7th. The county needed a couple of more days to get their people staffed. They have a training class going on right now. That resource will be absorbed into the retirements that will begin about December 1st.
And again, what station are they going to? To 19?
Rescue 29 will become Rescue 19.
And it'll be located where?
That's near the intersection of Montgomery and Carlisle.
So it doesn't help the west side at all? I thought that part of the thinking in giving some of this to the county was so that we could help. Again, if I remember correctly, what Councilor Lewis is alluding to is the fact that we were concerned. I learned about it. I think the West Side councilors were more concerned than I was because they knew about it, that there was a gap because that was stated. And now it sounds like there's no gap and there's no resources going there.
Mr. President, Councilor Gardenia, there is a need to increase services on the west side. There's a 2006 AFD master plan that indicated the need not only to move Station 2 further to the south and increase or provide an ALS capability in that area, but also provide an additional west side ladder. Right now, the only west side ladder is at Station 21, which is located near Cottonwood Mall. When we left the IGA, you might recall that this year, or the FY12 budget appropriation, de-appropriated funding for 15 positions. That was before this council, and that was for a 12-month period, presumably, or 6 months of this fiscal year, and presumably another 6 months for FY13. There's been a plan in place to staff a west side ladder. That plan was coincided with the delivery of the apparatus, which is scheduled to be in September, October timeframe.
Okay, well, I hope the West Side councilors can understand all that. I didn't. I leave it up to you.
Thank you, Councilor Gardenia. Councilor Benton, what do you think? Councilor Sanchez.
Thank you, Mr. President. Chief, again, I'm extremely concerned by some of the statements that you've made, and you did state that we could actually get a ladder truck on the west side January 1st based on the possible number of retirees. But I think that we can get it done. I know that I want to get fire stations 2 and 7 completed. That's also a priority for the community and for this district. And I want to thank the voters of Albuquerque for going out and supporting the public safety funds in the capital budget, because that included the $700,000 to purchase the ladder truck. So I think that's a priority for this community and this city. But I'm very, very concerned that, we have a situation here where the council voted 8-1 to get a ladder truck on the west side as quickly as possible based on your statements. There was a gap in services on the west side, and now we keep delaying it. I mean, if you've made the statement that we can get it done by July 1st, I want to get a commitment also from Mr. Perry and the administration that we can get this done by July 1st of 2012.
Mr. President, Councilor Sanchez, as the chiefs pointed out, there was a recognized need for a fire protection enhancement on the west side, and we had a long-term plan and continue to do that. It includes the purchase of apparatus. Currently, there is available coverage from some other stations, and we'd like to get that done as quickly as possible. However, I think it's important to really look at a fairly, accurate timetable as it relates to the funds becoming available in January, and as the chief pointed out, a build-out of the equipment, the fire truck itself, the hook and ladder, the fire engine. I know they don't call it that anymore, but that particular piece of apparatus. And so we're looking at a 9-month period around September or so. Now, does that mean that we'll have this as would like to be characterized by certain members of the council, this deficiency? We don't think it's a deficiency. We've had a long time on the west side without ladder service directly out in the far west side, and we have a plan, again, to enhance the fire protection program with ladder coverage for the west side, and we plan on doing that. But with all due respect, it's somewhat subject to obtaining the apparatus, and with 3 months in there, or 2 months from the beginning of the fiscal year being July 1st till September, we may be in a situation where you say, well, you promised me July 1st, and I can't make promises to you that it's going to be July 1st, because what I can promise you is when the apparatus is available, that's when we intend to put the equipment in service. But we can't do it any other way. There was the proposal that's been submitted to take a different type of equipment, a regular fire engine, and put a sign on a pig and call it a horse, and say, well, there's our ladder coverage. Guess we could do it, all subject to money. Don't know if it's a good thing from a fire protection perspective. Don't know if it's a good thing from a budgeting perspective to do it. But we do have a plan, and we intend to pursue that plan. And we intend to bring enhanced services to the west side. And we intend to do it in a timely manner as soon as possible.
Okay, so then your answer, Mr. Perry, is no?
That's what I heard.
And
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Well,
I'm moving to a deferral.
Mr. President, what's the question? Is it July 1st?
Yes.
I can't give you I would assume the answer is no, because I was just told that the build-out of the apparatus can't be done that quickly. If the build-out is done and the apparatus is done, I think we'll be ready to go.
So this is a public safety issue. Your fire chief has said
sir.
it can be done by that date. You're saying it cannot be done?
I didn't hear him say that.